Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Empire Builder. What do great championship teams do? I hope everybody had an amazing weekend and their Monday morning is off to an awesome start. If you start the week off right, you are going to crush it. So I wanted to join you today and talk to you about something that I've realized that great teams have done historically. Great companies. And for me, sports teams are something that we look at. You know, football teams, even AJ's flag football team, Duke, great college basketball teams, obviously Purdue, UCLA. What they do is they huddle, and they huddle a bunch of times. It's not like they just have one meeting for the whole year and that's the end of it, right? And I wanted to share with you a little bit about when we started running the first company, how bad we used to run our huddles and meetings, okay? We weren't sure what to do. You know, we thought, get together. You're supposed to get together. You're supposed to communicate. You're supposed to talk, which we all know is very important. But these meetings were not planned out, didn't have an agenda. Most of the time it was so we could have donuts, munchkins, and coffee, which is not a bad thing. That was a good thing. So any meeting is usually better than no meeting. But over the years, they became too long, they weren't focused, and sometimes they became negative. And as you know, over the 20 years of doing business, we have realized the importance of staying positive, no matter what is going on. So I wanted to share with you how we made it into the top 50 in our industry, Vision Monday's 2020 stats that came out. And it has to do with how you huddle and how you meet, okay? So the first thing I would tell you would do would be when you start your morning huddles, and you should have a morning huddle. Depending on the size of your company, each department should have a morning huddle. And you need to start out these huddles with a success story. Something that was done the day before, the weekend before, that was great. I mean, truly great. So I'm going to give you an example of a success story at our main medical practice, at our optometry place. One of our employees once took a patient on her day off to go get a consult and translate for the patient. That is going above and beyond. That is over-delivering. And that is what we are looking to share at these daily huddles, these team meetings. Someone that went out of their way to serve our patient, our client in our coaching industry, in our optical business, someone that did something to help their patient that's on the West Coast in California, okay? Start with celebrations. Celebrate celebrations. So that's tip number one on how to meet like a championship team. Step number two is you need to review your KPIs during that meeting. So you might be focusing on, and you should be only focusing on, a couple of KPIs in a department. Whatever you're focusing on in your quarter, you should be following that trend in your daily morning huddle. So if you are looking at, let's look at our optometry practices, right? We're looking at what was our show rate the day before. Did it meet our standard? If it did not, then everybody knows in that department to check, did we follow the protocols that have been put in place to obtain the show rate that we're supposed to be getting? Because show rate is very important, okay? Very important. That's an example of a KPI that you should be following in a department, okay? It could be booking appointments. It could be capture rate, okay? It could be phone calls if you're in the sales industry. If you're in real estate, it could be showings. KPIs. You should focus on one in that daily huddle. And again, positive. If it's not meeting the expectation, you're letting everybody know, but you're not going down to part 3 on how to meet to a championship team. Positivity only. You should not be bringing up negativity during these meetings. Okay? You should be looking at the KPIs or something going on, but it should not be anything that is negative, that is scolding, that is demoralizing. People are coming in from their night before with their family, and who knows what's going on in their life. Right now, it's a big challenge. You know, everybody's facing a pandemic. There's financial pressure. There's at-home pressure, spouse pressure. Look at all of the statistics. Focus on the positive. Get them psyched up for the day. Get them pumped up to take care of your clients or your patients. And I know it's not easy, but get them into the world of your organization and making a difference in whatever field you're in. So those are the 3 things you want to do. And then some people have, said to me, well, what do we do with this negativity? You never talk about negativity. And I'm going to tell you, we as a policy address negativity behind closed doors. Okay? If somebody does something that is a violation of our core values, you address it privately. Keep the dignity and respect that you would want to be treated with when you're having these conversations. Extremely important, right? You never want to treat someone how you do not want to be treated. So you have those conversations behind closed doors. Now, the 2 things about that is not everybody sees what's going on in your industry, so you're keeping things positive. But you will get a couple of people out there that say, oh, they never address so-and-so because of her lack of performance or production or her attendance. But the good people with you will know that you're treating people with respect and you're doing your performance improvement plans and so forth behind closed doors. So never go to embarrass anybody, because you would never want to be embarrassed. So that's the principle we've done for almost 20 years now. And if somebody does something wrong in the organization and a manager sees it, correct it at the time, personally and privately. Don't let it go for weeks, because then the habit can start to set in. Then it's harder to break that habit. Let them know we're going to do things in a positive way, and we're going to continue to build great, positive, long-term habits. So I hope you find that helpful. It's something we learned and improved on over the years, and it's made a big difference. I will say during COVID times that it has been a challenge to meet. And our team and Jason has put together an amazing way for us to communicate through different apps, and we use Teams and how we can communicate and stay positive and on the same page. So even if you build remote staff or remote locations, there are still ways to build culture, especially in today's world of technology. So I hope you guys are doing great. If you need help with how to have a huddle or any kind of meetings, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to get you in the right direction so that you could set your business up to make your life better, and that you could build your business so that you make your employees' lives better. That's what it's all about. I want you guys to have a great week. Go build your empire. Thank you so much for your time.